Okay, everybody, welcome. Are we in the right place? This is Math 270 Calculus 1. I know for sure it's Fall 216. So this is me, Mark Ashbrook. You can call me Mark. I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you're not comfortable, as long as it's anything respectful, make me feel good, professor, doctor, sure, whatever, okay? But Mark is fine. And then we have our TAs, Erica, and Julia, and Eugene. Okay, so one of these three you'll be assigned in their recitation section, but they will be here during lecture also. While I'm thinking about them, we are going to sit in lecture according to your recitation section. So I think in general what we'll try is, so who has just one? Julia? So if you are in Erica's recitation section, starting Monday, you're going to sit in this front left section, your left. If you are in Eugene's, one of Eugene's sections, so that, I got to tell days here. So Wednesday, Eugene is Monday. So if you have a Monday recitation, you're with Eugene. And that means you're here in the lower right section. You'll sit down here. If you're in a Wednesday recitation section, you have Erica, and you will sit in the lower left section. And if you are in the Friday, there's one Friday recitation, you're with Julia, and we'll put you guys across the back, okay, across the back. Now, if you have an issue with being in one of those three spots, you need to be somewhere else, that's okay, just let us know. If you need to sit somewhere for whatever reason, we can make accommodations, but we want to get 99% of you in those places according to your TA, okay, got it? So, Monday recitation, here. Wednesday recitations, here. Friday recitation, back 4 rows or 3 rows, okay? Okay, so let's, the home base for this course is Blackboard. You should have already found that. Let's take a look. Here's Blackboard, and this is our home base for the course. Announcements, syllabus, readings and homework, and other very important information. So this is kind of outside of class. This is where our central location is. Let's take a look at the syllabus. So that is now posted and available. So before we go any further on all these many announcements, I am recording class, okay? I screen record what's on my screen, which is everything that's on this screen, and then the audio is just it's the ambient noise in the room, which is going to be mostly me because I'm close to my computer. So there will be then a full reproduction of every class as a YouTube video, okay? And so the reason I'm pointing that out is Monday's quiz, we're going to have a quiz on Monday. Of many things, some of those questions could be about all these announcements I'm about to go through. There's lots of details, and so you've got to make sure we have all this. There's just lots of details to this course that we're going to go through. So I want to make sure that you are paying attention and keeping track of those things. So this next set of announcements could be part of the quiz. So you could take notes, or you could go back and watch the video and listen to it all again, okay? So, here we are. This is me. This is the best way to contact me. I look at my email all the time. I'm addicted to my laptop, which is good for you. I'm always got my email open, so I try to respond to emails quickly. Okay, my office is across from the ASU bookstore, ECA 209, and my particular hours are Tuesday, Thursday, 9:30 to 11:30. But I'm going to show you that you have far more support than that. I'll show you that in a second, okay? So we have a whole schedule of office hours throughout the week that you can visit for this class. I'll show you that in a second, okay? So course materials, Blackboard, of course. All right, the text you should have found is online. The link is here. The link is also on Blackboard announcements. Graphing calculator is going to be an essential. This is software for your computer. Most of you, hopefully all of you, have a laptop. And you want to put that on your laptop. If not, a home computer is fine. But this is going to be an essential element to the course. You're going to be using it extensively. And you're going to find this is a lot more powerful than a handheld hand calculator. You're going to find it very quickly. And our hopes, and with many students, is they just start using this. And they'll never use a handheld again. They'll just use this for everything because it's so much better. Okay, it's so much better, and you'll see we'll be using it not just to calculate and graph things, but actually to really learn and understand the material in the course. You'll see. Okay. Top Hat. You should have an account with Top Hat. We'll actually do questions today. So if not, you got to sign up this weekend, but you should have an account by now. Here's just special dates of the course. Here's the whole course calendar by week. Okay, and I want to draw your attention to the fact that all the blue highlighted items are our exams. So our exams will be, here they are, here are the dates. They will not be in lecture at 9:40 a.m. They will be on Wednesday evenings in a different location, Wexler 21 or PSA 21. So PSA has changed its name. I don't know if it's official yet, but we've been in transition period. WXLR, I think is what it is. That's the basement. Wexler 21, which is, we're actually in PSH. Okay, so PSA is about 100 yards that way. Okay, 100 yards that way. Down the Palm Walk. But we will be taking our exams on Wednesday nights with a 6:15 to 9 p.m. window of time. You should arrive between 6:15 and say 7:30, and we'll start collecting exams 9:15ish. Okay, but here are the dates. I'm telling you the dates right off the bat, so you don't schedule any road trips or things within your control now on these dates. Make sure that you block off these dates. If you have a unchangeable conflict, like you have a lab that night or a class, we will accommodate you. Okay, so don't worry. Don't contact us. We will contact you and give you that opportunity to say, I have something I absolutely can't change. I need a different testing time. Okay, but otherwise, if those are open times for you right now, then mark them off on your calendar. Don't schedule anything else. Okay. And then the final exam will be on. Also, same idea here. Don't buy your tickets to go home. We know exactly when the final exam is. December 6th at 7 p.m. Okay, that's a Tuesday night. So I'm telling you on the first day. So you're not going to come to me in November and say, I got plane tickets to go to my aunt in Washington and I'm leaving on the 5th. Okay? No, we know when the final is. Tuesday, December 6th, 7 p.m. Okay? Make sure you got that. Attendance is going to be absolutely critical, both in lecture and recitation. If we look at the grade breakdown here, here's by category, but for recitation, it's not a positive part of the grade, but it's actually a negative penalty for absences. Okay, so if you miss, you get one free absence to recitation, and so don't use that to go have fun. You may need that if you're sick or something. Okay, so. But 2 absences is your whole course grade just goes down 1%. And 3 absences, it goes down 3%. And 4 absences, it goes down 6%, half a letter grade. Okay? You got to come to recitation and you got to come to lecture. We'll be taking attendance in lecture by Top Hat and also I'll have a randomized list of all of your names, and throughout lecture I'll be calling on individuals to answer short questions as we go. If you don't respond, that's an absence. Okay, you get an absence in lecture. Okay, we'll also, like I said, we'll also take Top Hat. The questioning system has a attendance system built in. Okay, so the rest you can read: course policies, university policies, fine print. You're responsible for that. I won't go over it. Main thing is go to recitation. You have to go. It's important, and it's gonna. We're working hard to make that valuable time for you. It's not just go because you have to go, but to really help you with understanding the material of the course. Okay, also tests Wednesday nights. Block those dates off. Wednesday nights for exams. I think that's what I want to emphasize on the syllabus. Any questions before I go on? Lots of announcements. Yes, please?
So do we have class on the test days?
Yes, we will have class those Wednesdays at 9:40 a.m. also. Yep. Definitely. Okay. Other questions? Yes, please.
What's the difference between a test and the mastery?
Okay, the mastery exam it's kind of different than what it sounds like. The mastery exam is actually on a very specific content of the course. And so it's a type of exam that covers maybe 2 weeks of what we'll do in the course. So it's not mastering the material of the whole course, but mastering a very specific part of it. Okay, and then that particular exam is worth half of the others. Okay, so it's just you'll see why it's called mastery. It's not called mastery because of testing all the material in the course. It's a very narrow window of content. Okay. Yes. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. All right, so that's the syllabus. So here I'll go through the other on Blackboard, readings and homework. If you go there, you'll see that. It'll just have the top post will be the most recent homework, and then it'll go reverse chronologically. So you just look at the most recent one. By noon today, I'm going to post everything you need to get ready for Monday's quiz and what you'll have to do for homework for Monday. That'll be posted by noon today. Next, GC keyboard shortcuts. We'll see that. When we get into GC, that'll be more important. Right now, we don't have to think too much about that. Office hours. So I was talking about office hours. So there are my office hours, which you saw there, 9:30 to 11:30 Tuesday, Thursday. But there are actually 3 different instructors teaching this version of 270 and all of our TAs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 resources for you. 8 people who are familiar with our particular course. And here's the weekly schedule. You can go to any of these office hours of any of these 8 people. We are a team putting together this particular course. We meet weekly, and we're all on the same page in terms of what we're teaching and what our goals for you are. And so, and we're all ready to help you with the particulars of this calculus. So here it is. So Monday, you see me, there's me, Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 to 11:30, but your TAs are on there, plus the other instructors, plus their TAs. And you can go to any of these people, okay? You are going to need support in this course. It is hard, right? And for many of you, it will feel like a totally different math course than you've ever had. The way that we're approaching it and the things we're asking you to do and think about, the ways we're asking you to think is going to feel different. And so you're going to need support outside of class, okay? That's why we have so much of it. For a week from today, part of your assignment for a week from today would be to print out this sheet and get at least 3 signatures of different people by visiting them in their office. So you're going to find 3 that would work for you this semester. You're going to go there, and then you're going to get the signature of that person to say, yes, I was here. And then that will be part of what you're going to turn in a week from today, part of next Friday's assignment. Questions on office hours? Awesome, right? Totally awesome for you, and you're going to need it, okay? It's hard. This course is hard. All right, so that was office hours. So that's our main, oh, what happened to, there's another one on here at this class video, so it's not showing up because there's nothing in there in the moment, but it's going to be right there. The 4th one down, you're going to see once I post today's video. That's where you're going to see the class videos, and it'll take you, there will just be, every class will have a link to a YouTube video. There will be a reproduction of class. But that's by no means a reason not to come to class. It's for repeating and reinforcing and relearning all that you already participated in when you came to class. Okay. How are we doing? Any questions before I go on? Yes, please. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, yeah. Yeah. Oh, they're all here on campus. So all those office hours they're here at ECA. Yeah, so they're not this calculus. This is it's a redesigned calculus course, and that's why we're providing all that support. You want to go to these people on that schedule because they're familiar with this calculus. Yeah. Okay? And we'll talk about that, we're going to talk about that in a second. All right, so I talked about the syllabus, the textbook, office hours, first homework and quiz. Oh, recitation. Okay, so today, if you have today's Friday recitation, when is it? 10:45? Is that when it starts? 10:50. Go today. All right. You're going to take a very important pre-test, which counts toward a homework grade. Okay. So you definitely want to go to today's pre-test, and today's recitation. That's with Julia. What's the room for that?
It's Wexler 307, and it's at
11:50. Make sure you know if you have recitation today or not, because it is required. You should need to go, and it's at 11:50 in Wexler 307.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you know when your recitation is. They start today. Go today if you're in today's recitation. Likewise, Monday and Wednesday. Okay. So when you fill out, I won't have it on the screen. When you fill out your Scantron, you fill in your personal information, section number, ID number. That's got to be done correctly. Julia's gonna hound you. She's gonna be walking all around. Make sure. So please concentrate. Bring your student ID. You got to bring your student ID to recitation today and Monday and Wednesday. So you have that number, and then concentrate and pretend that that's part of the grade too. So let's make it part of the grade. Part of the grade is getting the personal information correct. Okay? Can't emphasize this enough. All right? And Julia's going to be a drill sergeant about that. Okay? So let's see here. What's next? Where's my list? Here. I talked about recitation. I talked about class videos. I think I got all the main announcements. It's a lot of stuff, but it's all really important. So hopefully you took notes, or you'll go back and watch the video. All that's fair game for a quiz on Monday. All that stuff I just talked about. Questions before we talk about the class now? Okay, and we go till 10:30. Is that right? Okay. Here we go. So before we jump into the mathematics, I want to give you a nice preparation warning for the fact that this class is going to feel a lot different than math classes you've had in the past. So I just want that expectation to be set from the beginning. Okay? So let's meditate on that for a while with this presentation, okay? So let's get some perspective on this. So I want to start out by comparing math education in the U.S. and in other countries. And then we won't do that part. We're just going to do the kind of this. Anyway, you'll see. Okay. But we'll start by talking about international comparisons. So here is, in 1975, the number of, the percent, or the number of natural science and engineering degrees for 24-year-olds. So it's what? It's indicative of an interest in technical fields, math and technical and science fields in particular countries. So how are we doing in the U.S. here in 1975? How are we doing? Pretty good. Top 3 or something like that, right? In terms of interest, pursuing science, pursuing math, pursuing engineering. So how are we doing in 2000? Okay, third to last, and not major changes since then. Okay, but so we just get an idea of the trend of where we're going. So why is it that our students in the United States are losing interest in the math and science fields and engineering? But here's the deal. So any company that hires you is going to, we're in a global market now, right? With the internet, the information age, you're competing against applicants all over the world just like that, through Skype and through email, right? You can apply anywhere. Okay, so any company that hires you are going to compete with these other countries. So there was a study called the TIMS video study, and what they did was they videoed 100 randomly selected 8th grade classrooms in Germany, Japan, and the US. And they made just black and white sheet transcripts of what happened in those classes. And they stripped away all the cultural identifiers and national identifiers. And then they had other people from outside the study read through those. They had no idea which country they were reading for each one of those classroom transcripts. They had no idea which country this one was from, this one. So they're trying to compare those countries without any knowledge of what country it was from. And they came up with a comparison of what was called high quality instruction, medium quality instruction, and low quality instruction for the 3 countries. Okay, so in Germany, the results were there was about a third each. A third % of the time spent in the classroom was high quality instruction, a third medium quality, a third low quality. Japan was better. They were much more heavy on the high and medium side of quality of instruction and less kind of time spent in class that was low quality instruction. So maybe let's, anyway, so what do you think the US was? What % high do you think? I heard someone say it over there.
9.
0.
0.
And they rated that the percentage of low quality instruction, the time spent in class, 89% of the time was what they deemed low quality instruction. So what do you suppose those things are? What do you suppose they meant by time spent in low quality instruction versus time spent in high quality instruction? Any guesses? What do you think that they used to categorize that? Yeah. Okay, so considering that they're still working on mathematics in all cases, all right? So this is the time spent working on the mathematics. What would be low quality versus high quality? Yeah.
Perhaps just, okay, this is the method, have fun, versus here's the ideas.
Okay.
Let's apply them to an actual example.
Okay, so yes, that's pretty good. So he said low would be more like procedures and methods. How many people have had a math class like this in your past? No, let me. Okay, yeah. But so the teacher gives some definitions, does some examples, and then asks you to replicate those examples with different numbers. Okay, yeah, okay, lots of hands. This is what they're talking about. Teaching procedures. Teaching to mimic procedures and then it was great because he talks about instead of what's high quality instruction, focusing on the ideas and the understanding of the principles and concepts behind the mathematics. Okay? So that's what's happening, okay? And so there's other countries in the world doing a much better job focusing on what we all should think is the most important thing, and that's understanding the mathematics, not just being able to do calculations and computations in some order or move symbols around in some way, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. Is calculus just a bunch of complicated procedures? There are many calculus courses that you would kind of guess that this is what it is because of the way that they frame the calculus. Who knows about Wolfram Alpha? Yeah, okay, so you can just type in things like, what is the integral of sine x cosine x dx from 0 to pi over 2? That's a calculus question. You just type that in, and then within seconds, it comes up with a numerical answer, a graph, a symbolic answer, an approximation. And so we have technology that can do this kind of computational math instantly. So why? And likewise, GC. We're going to learn all GC. Here's another very complicated math question. It's asking for the derivative of x to the 3 to the x. That's a very complicated question. Literally, in less than a second, GC can give you what that expression is. So if we're in a day and age when the technology can do this kind of stuff in the touch of a button, should we spend 15, 20, 40 minutes learning these procedures to do those things? Is it worthwhile? we could be using all that time to understand what's going on, right? And use the technology to do that stuff. Okay? And then we could have all that time back to really understand the calculus. So before the technology, so people learn calculus to get jobs that require they do lots of computing. They were the ones who did the procedures to get the answers, okay? Before this technology came along. So in the past, that was okay. We needed that. People needed to be super fast at performing flawlessly. They're given their functions equations. Their job was to do whatever they were told. Okay, but today, we know computers can do this far more quickly and accurately. No errors, right, than any human. But what can't computers do? They can't decide which function to analyze or what equation to solve. They can't make those decisions surrounding what we want to do or what the analysis is. Okay? So the human has to work the computer, right? So today we want to think of ourselves not as human calculators, but as managers. And managers have to know the whole picture, the whole big picture, okay? Managers must understand what they're doing and be able to explain why they're doing it, okay? This will give you power to do any kinds of questions, not just the ones you're taught to replicate. If you understand what you're doing and you can explain it, then you can be thrown a new situation, a new problem, and you can make progress or solve it even though you've never seen it before. That's having power, okay? That's having power. Being able to replicate very specific types of questions, section by section, it's not empowering you. It's not a service to you because it's not relevant and it's not it's not helping you be a problem solver. Okay? So lots of you, you raised your hands when you said you experienced that kind of thing in the past. So this class is about developing an expert knowledge of calculus. So you can figure things out, not just remember what to do. Okay? So how many of you have had a calculus course before? Oh no. That may be a disadvantage here because when you start to see something that seems familiar, you're going to start anticipating. Oh, I know where he's going, or oh, I know what's next. And then you may tune out and you may miss the real point. So when things seem familiar, pretend it isn't. Pretend you're starting over. You haven't seen that stuff before, okay? We're going to learn it with new understanding and meaning, okay? All right, so we saw good math instruction in the U.S. is not good by international standards, and don't expect that this is, so this is, I'm taking 25 minutes or 20 minutes to emphasize this point. Don't expect this class to reflect your experience in prior math classes you've had. So, rote memorization, replicating examples, doing without thinking, that's a big one. We're going to ask you to think, okay? And that's hard, that's taxing, okay? It's emotionally draining, okay? Some of you are used to doing math without thinking. Those days are over in this class, okay? Guessing what I want you to say, okay? What is it we want you to do? Understand the ideas of calculus, develop insight into the world of quantities and relationships. Okay, we're going to try to make this coherent. So everything we do in this first part of the course is essential. It's going to be kind of a review that we're like pulling everything from pre-calculus that's going to be essential for when we get into calculus in a couple weeks. So everything we do is related, and you can't just say, oh, we learned this topic, I got it, move on. You have to retain it. You have to retain everything because these ideas are going to be coming in groups and you're going to be synthesizing ideas all the time. And so our endeavor is that everything is coherent together. We're on a journey here, and that journey is the fundamental theorem of calculus. So everything we do is to understand the fundamental theorem of calculus by the end of the course. It's not chapter 1, learn this stuff, and then chapter 2, learn this stuff, and then chapter 3, learn this stuff. This is going to be a continuous journey of ideas that all are snowballing and are prerequisites for the next idea so that we can get to this very important principle, fundamental theorem of calculus. Okay, so here's a tale of two students from my past. Student number 1. So this is ratemyprofessors.com. So we as instructors are very aware of this. And here's a very typical review. He's honestly a terrible teacher. Nice person. Thanks. Tries to teach the why, forgets about the how. It really kills your grade. I never had below a 95 in math class. Now I'm hoping to get an 88. Okay? So, to me, when I read this is a student who thinks that a good teacher is this. Demonstrates and explains complicated procedures really well and then assigns grades based on the ability to mimic them. Would you say that that's a pretty good assessment of what this student is like?
Yeah.
Okay, but what did we see? This is the kind of instruction that's put U.S. far behind other countries. This is why we're behind, because this is our expectation. And we're mad when this expectation isn't made. We're trying to close the gap, trying to get you better prepared to compete against other applicants for companies, okay? I like student number 2 better. This is an email I received. For the first 4 weeks of class, I left every day feeling that my brain had been mauled into abstract obscurity. But now I was actually helping my friend from another college with her Calc 1 homework, and she was amazed at how much I knew. And even though all of our language was different, I was able to teach her about why each piece works and what it's there for. I've also been helping people on my table. It is so satisfying to be having these daily aha moments finally. Okay? So I love this email because she struggled at first, and this is going to be experienced with many of you. It's going to be a struggle to make a transition out of 10 or 15 years of the type of math instruction that you've had. And that's just going to be hard. It's going to be emotionally hard, okay? But if you work at it, look, you can change. You can work your way to the kind of thinking and approach that we're trying to bring you to, okay? So there's hope, right? So it's going to be hard, but there's hope. Okay. So when tackling problems in this course, this is a common reaction you're going to have. You never did one of these before. Okay. We know that. This is intentional. This is intentional. And the deal is, but we're giving you a problem where we've given you all the tools and the ideas. You have the resources to put things together and to solve the problem. So whenever you have this feeling, just remember, okay, he has my TAs, and the textbook has given me everything I need. I just have to do a little bit of thinking and figuring it out, putting some ideas together, or remembering something we did a week or 2 weeks ago that's going to be crucial, right? All right. So you're going to rely on understanding. Bring things together, transfer your knowledge to new situations, and write coherent explanations of your thinking. So this is how what we'll be asking you to do will be different. Okay, you can't improve in problem solving unless you are put in the situation where you have to problem solve. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to get better at something without being in that situation over and over again. So, and problem solving is hard work. It's thinking, it's working at it, it's getting frustrated, it's taking a break and doing your laundry and getting a piece of toast and then coming back to it, okay? With honey. All right? So, and then when you're getting help, the kind of guidance that you're going to have is we'll probably be asking questions back at you. We're going to find out what you understand, what you're thinking about, and then try to help you bridge that gap. We're not going to be the kind of tutors that take the problem and say, okay, here's how you do it, and then just show you how to do it. There's lots of tutors on campus that will do that. They'll just take your problem and say, first you do this, and then And then, do you get it? And then you go, yeah, I got it. No, they're doing you a terrible disservice because you learn nothing. Okay? So we're gonna engage in dialogue with you. We're gonna ask questions, and we're gonna try to bridge the gap and get you to kind of discover it on your own. Okay? And figure it out. Okay, so the guy on Rate My Professor talked about the grades. So this is a past class I've had. Here's the distribution of grades. So I bet that guy got an A. He thought he was getting an 88. I bet he got an A. And I don't know, because I don't know who it is. But this the distribution in this calculus class is very, very similar to all other math classes on this campus. So if you work at it, you can achieve the grade you deserve, okay? So, moral of the story, meaningful learning requires hard work, thinking, patience, perseverance, and you're going to need that support. That's why we have all the office hours. The benefits are great though. So, you'll actually be empowered to do real mathematics you've never seen before, rather than a monkey who can replicate and mimic something else, somebody somebody else did. Okay? Have I made my point?
Yeah.
Have I gotten your attention?
Yes.
Good. But so at the same time I'm warning you, there's also this great aspect to it. So many of you are going to be like, this is awesome. I love it. I love working at it and getting it, and it feels great to really understand it. So there's a whole host of positive emotions that go along with this as well. Okay. All right. So we got 10 minutes. Let's dive into GC a little bit. No, Top Hat. We got to do Top Hat. How's internet? Does everyone have internet on your phones? Do you remember the beginning of class? Did you have internet pretty much right away when you came in this classroom? Did anyone not? Okay, that was a problem last semester, so I think maybe they corrected it. Okay, good. So we're going to do Top Hat. So you're going to go to tophat.com, and then you're going to just log in. Just log in, and you should already be enrolled in our course. So I'm going to open up a question here, and we'll just give it a shot. Here we go. Okay, did something come up?
Yep.
Q0. Okay, so normally there'll be no talking. There'll be no talking, all right? Anybody, so is there anybody who is enrolled in our Top Hat course that is having difficulty right now? What are you having difficulty with? What's going on?
Actually, it's not showing up.
The question is not showing up. What else is happening? Okay, just try refreshing. If you got the spinning wheel, just try refreshing Top Hat. Other issues that you're having. Oh, I got something fun to show you.
Here's Emma doing a backstroke. No one told her to do this. She just watched the Olympics. Look at her backstroke.
Oops, sorry.
Do it again. Go. Olympic swimmer, Emma Astrup. Her 200-meter backstroke. She's going to break the world record. Here she goes. She's way ahead of the pace. She's lapping the field. Emma Astrup. Backstroke.
She literally, we have her in swimming lessons, and she's swimming underwater forward. She can float on her back. And we were watching the Olympics, and she just literally just started doing that. No one told her. She just started waving her arms like that. It's awesome. So the point of this is to show you my beautiful kids, but also to let you know that after you've entered your answer in Top Hat, you can change it. You can change your answer. You don't. So you can change until you're got the right one. Okay. And so we'll see. You get to see lots of my kids this semester, and then towards the end of the semester, we'll pull out some of the classic archives and when they were babies, or when she was a baby. He's still a baby. All right. So everyone got it right? Not almost everyone. All right. So then at some point I'll say 10 seconds left. Get your answers in. Make sure your answer's in. And going, gone. And then how'd we do? Good job, Emma and Samuel, 4 and 2. All right, so should we do the real question for today? The real question for today is reading, no talking. Question on Top Hat or what's going on here? Okay, so explain to me how it's not working. I just closed because I just unassigned it.
No.
The whole time it did? Did you refresh it?
Yeah.
Okay, just keep trying to refresh, like maybe log out and log back in. So yes, that's what you do. Log out, log back in, try refreshing the page. Yes, sir?
I just got into this class yesterday, so
Okay, so do this weekend. So look on Blackboard announcements. Yep. Other issues. Those who have a Top Hat account, you had issues with Top Hat. Yeah. Just get in this weekend. Make sure you get an account this weekend. Okay, you ready for the question? Here we go. No talking, and your eyes on your own screens. And also, like during Top Hat, the TAs will be walking around making sure you're staying on Top Hat. You can't wander off in the internet somewhere else to help you. So you just stay on Top Hat, eyes on your own screen. Here we go. 1 minute. Oh, jeez. This is really awful. There we go. Seems like everyone's able to use the system who has an account. What's going on? How many people is the question not showing up? So try refreshing your screen. If that doesn't work, try logging out and logging back into Top Hat. Other than that, I don't know. Is there somewhere you have to go special to find the question?
it shows up under the homework.
Yeah, it shows up under homework because if I do the present mode, it takes up the whole screen. I can't show anything on the screen, so I'll go talk to them about that. So it shows up under homework. Maybe there's something you have to do to see that it's showing up in the homework section.
And I don't know, I accidentally downloaded or joined spring of 2016 last night, so that might be a problem.
Yeah, so make sure you're in that right course, Fall 16, with the course number that I gave you, which is, I don't know off the top of my head, but make sure you enrolled in the right course, because there's also this S16 course, the Spring 16. Okay, time is almost up. What's that? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, 10 seconds, get your answer in. Going, gone. Okay, what was the reading about? Looks like somebody did your reading, good. Okay, typically the questions won't be quite this easy. A little bit harder than this, okay? A little bit to significantly harder than this. Where's this say? I don't know, where's my... Show correct answer choice. I'm supposed to be able to highlight the correct answer, but I can't do that. I don't know why. Anyway, yes, it was D. Quantities that are really big are really small. And so the homework for the weekend will be to read some more of that. You'll also be reading the preface in the book and doing some problems. Don't load up. Don't load up. I just want to show you GC real fast. When you open Graphing Calculator, you get a window like this. That square up there indicates a command line. Okay, it's not a computer programming language that we're going to learn. We're going to learn mathematics, because what Graphing Calculator does is it takes mathematical statements and it will display whatever we say in a mathematical statement. Y equals x squared. That's a mathematical statement. And so when you do that, it will graph it. It will just graph the mathematical statement that you get it. But it also does just simple calculations, okay? So besides the point that it does graphs, you can just come in here and say 3 plus 5.62. And it shows you the answer. And then it just, as you change that expression, it updates it automatically. So divided by pi, divided by 2 pi. So you can just create an expression. It's great because you can see it visually very easily. It's not a linear thing with lots of parentheses. You can have fractions showing up as fractions. So then I can highlight it and I can take the square root of the whole thing. And it automatically keeps updating your answer. Okay? So we will pick it up there Monday. Blackboard will have the post of quiz content and homework that you'll be turning in class Monday. Have a great weekend.